So now let's show you how to do a split screen effect. And you know what a split screen is. You've seen it thousands of times. Basically, it's just two pieces of video on the same screen at the same time. And traditionally what you'll see is you'll see one piece of video on the left-hand side of the screen, one piece of video on the right-hand side of the screen, and the two pieces of video will just be split down the middle of the screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to take two pieces of video here, one of which is figure skating and the other one of which is a cat story. So we've got two pieces of video that have absolutely no meaning to each other. They probably would never be used for a split screen effect. There would be no reason to, but we're going to use them, and I think it'll give you the idea of how this is done. The reason I do want to use the figure skating video, though, is because it's video of figure skaters, and sometimes they end up going out of frame as they skate around the ice. And as a result of that, it means that to work with it in a split screen, we need to make an adjustment to be sure that the skaters stay in frame. And I wanted to show you how to do that. So that's the reason we're going to use the skating video. All right, here we go. Let's do it. This is our figure skating video. I'm going to drag it and drop it on our timeline, and it's going to appear in the video 1 track with the audio also there. Now, for a split screen, you do not necessarily need the audio. So we're going to eliminate it in this case. Remember, we're going to end up with two pieces of video on the screen at the same time, and that's okay. But if we had the audio for both of those pieces of video as well, that would be a little confusing to have to listen to the two pieces of audio at the same time. So we're going to get rid of the audio. And of course, in order to do that, what we need to do is unlink. We need to unlink our audio from our video. And that's done over here. You'll notice, of course, where the timer is, the indication of how long or the running time of the video on the timeline. That's right up here. Those right below those numbers are 3 icons, all in blue, and the one on the right, the far right, is the linked selection, this one right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on it, and I have now unlinked my audio from my video, which means that I can work with just one or the other. So I am not having to work with both at the same time. So since I have unlinked because it's turned white, I now can select my audio, which is what I want to delete. And once I delete that, the video will stay. But again, you'll see that the video is in blue, the audio is in white. We've clicked on the audio, and now we're going to delete it, and it goes away and the video stays. And that's exactly what we want. So now what I want to do is, it's in video track 1 because, of course, when I brought it over, that's where the computer dropped it. But I want to move that. I'm going to slide it up here into video track 2. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to make this figure skating video kind of the main video that I'm going to be working with primarily. And you'll see what I mean as we go along here. But I'm really going to work with just the figure skating video, one of the two pieces. You only end up working with one of the two pieces when you're creating a split screen. So in this case, I'm going to go with the figure skating video. All right, so I'm going to move it into V2. And then I'm going to bring over the cat story, and I'm going to add it. There it is up there. And I'm going to add it, and of course we still have the audio to it. So again, since I am still unlinked here, right? Since my link selection is white and not blue, that allows me to click on the audio, turns it white, I can delete it, and it's gone. All right, so here we go. First thing that I'm probably going to show you here is I'm going to click on the figure skating video here on this top track. And again, we're only working primarily with one of the two video sources, and that will be the one in the top track. And that's why I moved the figure skating up to V2. So once I click on it, it opens up this window here under Effects Controls. And I've got several options. I've got motion and position and scale and rotation. There's several options here. And actually, we're going to add even more options before we're done. But right now, I want to focus on the position option. Okay? And this is basically kind of the aspect ratio. And it says 360 by 240. All right? Well, what I want to do is that first number, that 360, I want to double that. So I'm going to click on it, and when I click on it, I'm going to type in double 360 is, yes, who said 720? Yeah, you're right, good, okay, you're good at math, I like it. So 360 times 2, we're going to double it. 360 times 2, 720, all right? Now, what's going to happen is, once I hit enter, it's going to actually take the video and it's going to push it over to the right side of the screen, okay? Whoop, there it goes, all right? And look at this, I've just created a split screen, because if I move my cursor in just a little bit, look at this, I've got a split screen effect, just like that, okay? And I'll tell you what, it's a pretty good split screen, and what I mean by that is pretty good because it's actually split exactly down the middle. Now, how do I know that? Well, I'm going to come over here to this little tool that looks like a wrench, okay, this little wrench icon, and it's called Settings, and when I click on it, I'm going to scroll down here till I get to Safe Margins. And if I click on Safe Margins, voila. Hopefully you can see that there's kind of an outline around there. 2 white boxes. And right in the middle, there are 2 vertical lines, one at the top, one at the bottom. And those 2 vertical lines represent the exact center of my screen. And right now, my video lines up perfectly. The edge of the cat video and the edge of the figure skating video, both lining right up on those 2 vertical lines. So it is perfectly centered. But that's not necessarily a good thing in this case, because again, as I play this, you can see what the figure skater is half out of the shot, sometimes more than half out of the shot. So I need to adjust that, okay? And this is what I was talking about before. So let's show you how you would do that, basically, all right? And even though this really does look pretty good, I gotta admit. Now, you should know this. You should know that you can crop and that you can change the position. Even though we've typed in 720, maybe 720, even though that's the exact center, maybe 720 isn't the exact reading that we want for the position. So let's do this. Let's put our cursor right here on the 720, and that gives us 2 arrows, one going left, one going right. And what it's going to do is it's going to allow us to move, oh, look at that, I can move the figure skating video. So I'm going to move it, I'm still moving it, I'm going to actually, I don't want to move it too far. I mean, I'd have to pull it all the way over to try to get those 2 skaters in there. So let me do this. Let me just play it a little bit more. There's a skater right there coming in, okay? Now, let me go back, and again, I'm going to pull up my positioning over, and there. Now I've got the skater in there, and they're completely in my safe area, or my safe zone, right? I can see that. Okay, so now, the problem, of course, is that I've lost my cat, right? Well, if I were to go to my cat video, and if I were to adjust the positioning on the cat video, it would just take it right back to where it was, okay? So what I need to do instead is I need to continue to work just with the figure skating video, and I need to crop it. Remember, I just said that you can work with the positioning of the video in the split screen, and you can crop the video in the split screen. So let's crop it at this point. I know I've got my figure skater in there, and I know my figure skater is going to line up perfectly on the right side of my split screen. Okay, but I need to crop it to be able to get in the cat video. So let's do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my effects tab up here, okay? And once I click on it, I'm just going to come to the search, okay? It opens up this window on the right-hand side, and I'm just going to do a search for crop. And it pulls it up for me, so I'm just going to drag it and drop it, okay? A simple drag and drop, crop, right on the figure skating, boom, I got it, okay? Now I'm going to return to the editing mode. Remember, I just clicked on effects up here. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to click on the editing mode here, which is where I was. And remember I said we were going to add some more options to these video effects? Well, we've just added the crop. So I'm going to scroll down, and now you'll see I've got the crop option, which was not there before. So what I can do is I can crop left, top, right, or bottom, okay? I'm going to crop left. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to click on the arrow there just to open that drop-down window. Now I've got a slider here, okay? So I'm going to take my slider and I'm going to work with it, and look at me now. You can see what I'm doing. I'm moving over the cat video. I'm bringing it back, right? Where am I going to bring it to? Well, I'm going to bring it to right there where my 2 vertical lines are that indicate the center of my split screen. Okay, so now I've got the split screen with the skaters in it and the cat video as well. So now let me play it and let's see how it looks. And let's see if those skaters stay in that split screen. It's lagging just a little bit. There it goes. See, that's looking good. See, now, again, the skaters never go out of frame. And then there's our kitty. So we've got our split screen with a cat and a skater. Like I said, a very unusual combination, but nonetheless, there it is. So those are the two things that you would adjust, all right, to get your split screen. You would, again, adjust your positioning and you would adjust your crop. But again, work with just one of the two pieces of video, and I recommend just using I recommend using the video that's in the V2 track on top. Okay, you don't have to. You don't have to. You can work with either one. I could have worked with the cats, but again, you can see why I worked with the skaters, and that was simply because I wanted to be sure that they stayed in the frame. So I had to adjust them accordingly by cropping them. So anyway, it's the crop and it's the positioning. You work with those together until you get your split screen to look as good as it can look.